Hello, Sun City residents. This is Rusty Bradshaw, and I'm here to give you some highlights from two meetings today. So bear with me. And first, I'll start with the RCSC exchange, and then I will talk about the special board meeting to do the second reading of the proposed bylaw revisions. Now, bear with me because this is going to be a long video, but if the exchange doesn't turn your crank, go ahead and advance forward to the board meeting if you like. So, to start off the exchange this morning, Board Vice President Chris Nettesheim gave an update on Mountain View, which is in the design process phase right now. And the RCSC will provide Triarch, the contractor, with any additional information that they may need, and it'll be 4 to 5 months before the board will have to take any action as Triarch goes through the design phase. And in the meantime, Triarch will be lining up their design subcontractors. They will do a topographic survey, a field survey of existing buildings that may remain on the site as part of the revision. They will review option 3, which was approved by the board, for any specific design elements. RCSC will continue to communicate with members on this project, and they will do it through their website, through their Facebook page, through email blasts, and during exchange meetings. There will be more member engagement, and they encourage you to continue to communicate, but they ask that you communicate directly with the board, not through Triarch, as they are going to be very, very busy. They also encourage you to stay caught up digitally, and there will be monthly design updates. And at the end of all of this, Triarch will make another public town hall presentation on the project. As far as the topics for the exchange, the only real thing that hadn't been already answered was the paddleboard races. A couple of members actually were looking to do some paddleboard races on Viewpoint Lake, but there was some confusion and they were told that it couldn't be done. However, that confusion and miscommunication has been cleared up, and there will be paddle boat races on Viewpoint Lake from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on November 22nd. And they will race around the fountain. Now, as far as member comments during the exchange meeting, one member said they lived within a quarter mile of Mountain View and they use the facility daily, but not during one day in the morning in the last week was anyone playing pickleball. They hope that the board gets some usage information for pickleball at Mountain View so that they can see exactly how much use it's getting. Also, the same member said that he plays mini golf at all the different locations where mini golf is played, and that he was at Sundial Mini Golf and watched a member show up in a golf cart and then a carload of what he assumed were guests, including some children. Then the member in the golf cart left after he showed the guests around. He believes, this member who is reporting this believes that there should be some kind of monitoring going on at the mini golf course, because some of the kids were running around and playing King of the Hill on one of the holes. Another member said they wanted to see some performing arts usage data and for the fitness center at Mountain View. This member said they hadn't seen anything of that kind and asked if they really needed to spend the money on a fitness center at Mountain View when a half-mile away there is a very good fitness center at Fairway. Another member suggested getting involved in the Renew Active program, claiming it will help the Sun City Foundation. This member explained that the Renew Active reimburses members if they join a health club. Another member got up and said that because of the continued suggestion by some members that Sundial be used for the community theater, this member said that Sundial is not appropriate for community theater. This member has been active in community theater most of her life and reiterated that Sundial is not appropriate. Another member suggested changing the preservation and improvement fee to more reflect a percentage of a home's value rather than one single amount for everybody, because some people buy a home that's $400,000 to $500,000, while others purchase a home for, say, $250,000 and each pay the same amount, but this member believes it is not equal. Another member countered the comments about pickleball at Mountain View by saying Mountain View pickleball is heavily used in the morning, not so much in the afternoon because members are doing something else or because of the heat. And that was it for the exchange meeting. Now on to the special board meeting to do the second reading for the proposed bylaws that were recommended by the bylaws working group. And just full disclosure, I was a member of that working group. There were 13 articles and a set of definitions. Every one of them passed unanimously. And I'll share with you some comments from one member who spoke several times. Only one member. There were only like 8 members in attendance at this meeting. A poor turnout, in my opinion. This member wanted to get some clarity on the qualifications to be a member and threw out a number of hypothetical situations. She seemed satisfied with the answers, and she was glad that this was done, feels like it was a good thing, and she thanked the group. Now, on the article that dealt with assessments, this same member talked about a lot of discussion about per property and that assessments rather than per person, and the per property violates equality. This member believes it's worth reconsidering. For Article 7, in which it talks about board members and their eligibility. One point was that board members have to be available 10 months out of the year. This member said that the revised bylaws don't state which 10 months. Wanted to know how it was determined, whether that person is available, asking if you put a ankle bracelet on them. The answer was that they could be here any 10 months. They could be off January, February. But they can still participate in board meetings and other work electronically. And this same member said it was a good change to allow attendance at board orientation electronically. The same member said it was a great decision to allow members to be vice chair of committees. And in reference to the Long Range Planning Committee, their responsibilities being for planning 5 years and beyond, this member believes that things change, and while long range planning is good to look to the future, but if things come up in those projects that are being worked on in years that are planned for years 1 through 4, the committee should have the option to provide some input, which in fact they do. A change to our revised bylaw said that the Long Range Planning Committee can provide input on PIF projects as necessary that are ongoing in years 1 through 4. And as far as discipline, the same member said the description of incident reports that could be filed was vague, and wanted to know why frivolous reports were being allowed. This member suggested that incident reports should be handled by human resources, and the whole article on discipline should be thrown out. This member also asked, what is an assistant? And I will give you an example of what an assistant could do. Say someone has had a stroke and they have difficulty communicating. They may need someone to sit next to them and help them voice what they're trying to say. I know that to be something that happens with people. Now, in answer to this member, Steve Collins said he was still having issues with giving out redacted incident reports to those who are named in a report. He's concerned about these documents, which are RCSC documents, getting out and being put online. Chris Nettesheim pointed out that human resources is just for employees. It is not their job to handle member complaints against another member. She said that she has heard from a number of members who've had incident reports filed against them, claiming they are concerned that they don't know the specifics of the complaint. She believes that there has to be a balance found. And that was the end of the comments on the revised bylaws. Once they were all passed, the board then passed a resolution which gave a schedule for the upcoming annual meeting. It's a compressed schedule from what is in the revised bylaws. It is the same process, it's just compressed because of time. So here it is. If you want to submit an amendment for the annual meeting, you can start doing that on November 12th. The deadline for submission of amendments is December 16th. They will then be sent to an attorney to determine whether they're proper member motions or improper member motions. And the attorney's answer needs to be back by December 30th. The motion sponsor has until January 20th to edit their motion, to either bring it to a proper motion or to refine it, whatever's necessary. Then they will go back for another legal review, which has to be complete by January 27th. The final text of those motions will be publicized on January 30th. If a town hall is requested to go over these amendments, the time set aside for that is February 2nd through 13th. Then voting will begin February 16th and run through March 23rd. Voter tabulation will be complete by March 27th, and the annual meeting is set for March 31st. And I may have slipped up when I talked about the town halls. The period for the town halls, if requested, is February 2nd through 13th. I may have said 16th, but it's 2nd through 13th of February for town halls. So there you have it. That's the 2 meetings for today. If you want to watch either of those fully, they're on the RCSC website YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.